Well, I'd like to say we're ending the season on a high note, and we are, sort of. After we beat either Tickfest or Bregalnica, we clinched the league. We were so far ahead that there was no possible way we could lose first place. So I started playing some rotated sides, and that's the cause of these last two losses here. I am completely not worried about that because, like I said, we've already clinched. Now, the flip side of that is, even though we have already clinched, Janev's out with a lower back stress fracture. Elise was out with sprained knee ligaments, and Boban Tasevsky is out with a fractured wrist, but he's still playing because he's got the cast on his arm. So it's the last game of the season. We've already clinched. I'm looking at playing a rotated side. Let's see what we're looking at here. So if I go here, filtered senior squad, quick pick, interesting. Let's do this. Clear entire team selection. Do the senior squad to potential Giannis Charlavas. Tasevsky. He's still injured, isn't he? We'll clear him off. Ilieski, who's been absolutely brilliant for us this season. Mirko Stankov. We'll start Dimitrov. Can't start the other Dimitrov because he's only 15. Davidovsky will put in at Mazzola. Groszinowski will put in goal. Put Babic on the bench. Actually, no, we'll start Babic and then put Stamkov on the bench. Bernd Marion has actually been an interesting player for us. He started 6 games. He's got 1 goal. He's had some really good passes, which you wouldn't think in terms of, okay, yeah, it's a 12 and his dribbling's a 12, but he's turning into quite the decent player. For a guy we picked up on a free, I'm quite happy with that. We'll put Vaj in, Stoyanov on the left. We'll put Novetsky on the bench. I need a left back. I know I have a left back. I know I have a young left back. I just don't remember who it is off the top of my head. It was Volkovsky, who's only 15. But you know what? We'll start losing Seifa there. One more striker. We'll put Tasevsky on the bench. We'll put Ristov on the bench. You know what? We can start Noveski as a deep lying playmaker. Put Alkovsky on the bench just because he's not fit enough to start. Jankelov I'll put on the bench. No, I got David Tasevsky. That's why I got Tasevsky. Too many Tasevskys running around. So put Tasevsky there and then do this. Bolzanovsky will go there. Ilieski will go there. I just need a striker replacement. So let me filter out the unavailable. Vesky, DC. Oh, no, I want to leave Stankov on. Take off Lievsky. We got our budget for next season as well. Our transfer budget is like 4.4 million euros, which would be nice if we could sign players outside of Macedonia. And, you know, I'm kind of willing to overpay for a younger player. There's that midfielder I've had my eye on who was the team was one who was a Pandev, I think. No, it was the other team. Wanted like 1.2 million for him, and I didn't want to spend it at the time. But with a 4 million transfer budget, I could be convinced to do that. Olieski gets the ball to Dimitrov. He gets it back to Bojic. Davidovsky. Charlavas. Ilieski. Feeds Bobic. Bobic, right side. Turns around. Crosses it in. Marion can't get to it, but he ends up crossing it in himself, and Ilieski's there, but he heads it wide right. Seeing Ilyeski's already gassed? Not even a half hour into the game. We'll take him off the half. Yeah, I completely didn't look at that, did I? You numpty. Hajdari. Here's Kovacevic. Crosses it back in. Brankovic bounces it off of Vardar defender. Kovacevic hits it off the top of the crossbar. Goes in for the goal. That was a bit of luck. It was nice, but it was lucky. Nice through ball. Kovacevic just couldn't get to it in time. Brankovic had a shot. He bounced it off of Vardar defender. Kovacevic just got enough of the crossbar to get it over the goal line. Grosdanowski. Charvalis. To Bobic? Or Babic, rather. Babic to Marion. Marion back to Vaj. Vaj to Charlabas. To Babic. Up to Ilyeski. Ilyeski back to Charlabas. He gets the ball to Tesevsky. Tesevsky feeds Marion. Marion drops it off Stoyanov. Stoyanov. Dimitrov. Dimitrov to Ilyeski. Davidovsky, he's got help, and instead he puts it far post. His first goal of the season. I believe the first goal of his professional career. His first ever FK Vardar Skopje goal. I'm kind of surprised I knew that, to be honest with you. Some very nice ball movement. And a good shot by Davidovsky. Looked like the defender was. It looks like it was going to bounce off the defender. I think that was just a graphical thing. Yeah, Ilyeski and Davidovsky, who just scored, are both sub 60. Because an umpty like that. Davidovsky off. We'll bring on Andonovsky. Ilyeski we'll bring off for Novevsky. Charlabas gets the ball to Bobic. Andonovsky, long ball. Novevsky gets there, crosses it in, and Cini knocks away, but Marion heads it towards the goal. Novevsky's there, and he scores. Slots it past the outstretched hand of the Borak keeper. That was nice. Icini knocked it away. Marion headed it down. Dimitrov got it. Joseph and Dimitrov went up for it. Looks like neither of them got it. Fell at their feet. Novevsky was right there. Just powered it in left side. Brankovic, corner kick. And Borja knocks over the crossbar. Stoyanov just went out with an injury. So we'll move Tesevsky back, and then we got to bring on Stoyanov. I knew I had this. Radic. Mitrevsky, back and forth. Gets the ball to the other Mitrevsky. Brankovic. Hajdari. Brahimaj to Mitrevsky. Gives the ball away. Novevsky. Gets the ball to Dimitrov. Dimitrov. Holds it up. Gets the ball to Alexkovsky. He gets it to Marion. Marion feeds Dimitrov, and Dimitrov scores again. That was some very nice ball movement by us. Dimitrov's 20th goal of the season. Borak making a last change with 18 minutes left in the game. Oh, what a nice through ball by Marion. Oh, excuse me. Well, I don't know why I'm yawning. It's only 9:45. Babic. Charlabas. Vaj. Over to Sefa. Marion. Tesevsky. Feeds the ball to Alexovsky. Ananovsky. Back to Marion. Marion sends it back to Vaj. Vaj to Charlabas. He brings it up a little bit. Gets the ball to Vaj. Vaj sends it left to Marion. He one taps it up to Tesevsky. Turns around, feeds Alexovsky. Feeds Marion, and Marion pushes the ball just wide left. That was a nice give and go. Brankovic. We totally misplayed that. He scores. Oh, what? The keeper kicked it long, and the defenders were like, you've got it. Brankovic didn't even try contesting the header. It looks like he just got in the way of my defender. And once he got by them, there was no one there to really help him. Alsevsky sends the ball forward, bounces back and forth, ends up at Matreski's feet. He feeds Kovacevic. Kovacevic is guarded closely, and Brankovic gets another goal, literally 2 minutes, or it's 14 minutes later, and they just equalized in extra time. Thank you, FM gods. It's a good play, though. Kovacevic. Brankovic goes right there. To be fair, who was that? Not Grosdanowski. Charbalis could have done a little bit more. And it's going to end on a draw with 24 shots, 6 on target, a really good possession advantage. We give up a 91st minute goal to Borek. Continue, save the game here real quick, and then we will take a look at the season. Going on off, out for 2 to 3 weeks. Safe and made his professional debut. Garcia Morena was my defensive left back who I sent out. Had a pretty solid season. 26 starts. Ended up, I don't know if I pull it up, will it tell me? A 6.87. No goals, no assists, 10 yellow cards, 91% pass completion rating. It's not too bad. As you can see here, oh, you know what, we'll go here. We'll click on the league table. We finished first on 78 points, 85 goals for, 19 goals against. Our defense was just rock solid this season. It's a big reason. They're the big reason we are where we are. I mean, yeah, our offensive output was nice and all, but even our defense was just so much better. Elizi led us with 26 goals. Abbas had a 7.54 rating and 24 assists. Ilievsky, a 96% pass completion rating. Abbas had 9 players of the match. Andonovsky, of course, had most yellow cards with 11. Andonovsky, Abbas, and Vardar each had 1 red card. Our 33 matches played, our 85 goals were the best in the league. Our 19 goals allowed were the best in the league. Our 38 yellow cards were best in the league. So thank you, Andonovsky. 2 yellow cards were third, or 2 red cards rather, were third best. Budget-wise, 4.8 million profit. Overall balance at 7.96 million. Our transfer budget is 4.1. Our payroll budget is 64, and we're only spending 40. If we look at the players here and who is leaving, these guys are out of contract, aren't they? Kovsky just never panned out. Neither did Golniak, Dinkovsky, Fickle, Dejan, Antonovsky. It's good physically, but not so much otherwise. Can I just mass release these guys? Jesse's going to be leaving. Ilievsky, I'd probably keep, but just his depth more than anything else. Nikolav's going to leave. He's not happy here, and I'm not happy having him here. Elmini, I'll keep. Stankovsky, maybe. Gajufi, maybe. He's kind of topped out, I think. Alexovsky, I'd like to keep him, but he just hasn't improved as much, so he'll probably leave. And then Marjan Alexovsky, he's young enough, but he hasn't really improved in a couple places either. I might move him on. Plus, he just has not done well in training this season. Cut the following. Plus, he's just not done well in training this season. Transfer budget, as I said, 4.1. Let me check something out here real quick. Board requests. Let's try and improve the training facilities. We need ground, networking. We're doing really well. We don't need a senior affiliate because you need senior affiliate that has Macedonian players we can play. We could probably get on loan in the first place anyways. We're going to go a day here, and then we'll go back to the squad here. We're going to sort by appearances. Grosdanowski, 51 appearances, 1 assist, a 7.13 rating, capably filled in for Kasevsky. 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. Really improved this season. Did really, really well for us. 19 clean sheets in the Macedonian League. Emil Abbas, 16 goals, 24 assists, 9 players in the match. Emir Murati, 16 goals, 14 assists, 3 players in the match. I didn't realize how good a season he had. Kasevsky had 1 assist. He did really good on the defense, though. Jankulov, 1 goal, 5 assists, 3 players in the match. Dimitrov, 20 goals, 6 assists, 1 player of the match. Alexander Ilievsky, 13 goals, 11 assists, 7 players of the match. I've got the clubs after him. They were after him. Now Zizevski's wanted by Başakşehir. They're a Turkish club. Yeah, I'm not letting him go for. Well, I'd let him go for a decent amount of money, but I don't know what that decent amount is. I'd have to look at it. Omar Mary, 5 goals, 9 assists in 18 starts and 16 off the bench. It's a solid season for him. I'd like to keep him just because of depth more than anything else. So he's here for another couple of years. What do we got here? We have 5 players on double-digit goals. We have 3 players on double-digit assists. Bozanovsky won a player of the match. He did. He had a really good defensive game. It ended up like a 9-point-something. It was ridiculous. So, Vladar Nevevsky, 17 goals, 7 assists. Pretty good for a guy I wanted to be a part-time starter. If I auto-size this, it should tell me he was a part-time starter. Yeah, he had more starts than appearances off the bench, but a solid season for him. So, I'm liking where the club is depth chart-wise. Players like a Boz and a Mary, we can start rotating out for younger players. Like next year, Ilieski is going to be the starter at winger. Elise and Dimitrov are going to be the starters up top, unless something happens. I'd like to find some more defensive depth on my back four, but for the moment, I got a lot of youngsters that I'm willing to play that I need to play because they're only going to get better that way. My midfield is solid. I'm solid in goal. I wouldn't mind a seasoned backup, Ivanov. He just isn't getting any better, but he's not getting worse. He did start 2 games for us and kept 2 clean sheets. I think a lot of it had to do with the defense. I was playing in front of him as well, but, every little bit helps. He is here for another year, so maybe we keep him on the bench for next year just as the backup, and we see what happens. We're getting our training facilities. Very cool. We'll get to the end of season wrap up here. So here is a review. New rivals. Dimitrov gets an A+. Zizevski gets a C. And Nevevsky gets a C+. That's interesting. He came in on a free, though, so it's a good pickup for us. First in the league, average attendance was only 8,400. That I'm not happy with that. We should be in 5 digits at least. Biggest win was the 11-0 against Bregalnica. Our match to remember was the 2-1 against RFS. Our goal of the season was Elise as he scored from 27 yards out against Rassopol. It was a screamer of a shot. Club reputation increased. Sponsorship money went up. Broadcast revenue went down. We just didn't have a lot of televised games. Corporate hospitality went up. Competition prize money went up. Match day commercial and retail went up by a little bit. Fairly rotated side, but yeah, I would agree with that. We went over this earlier. Elise had 4 goals in a match. Ilieski had 4 goals in a match. Boz, 24 assists in a season. Grossanowski, 21 shutouts in a season. Boz, 9 players in the match. Vladic, we got 230,000 euros for. He started 32 games, 8 goals, 2 assists, a 6-1. Finished 12 points ahead, or 14 points ahead of our closest competition. I'm happy to accept the current vision. Interseason team meeting. Do it again next season. Do a good accounting of ourselves. These are our players on loan. Appearance-wise, Dejan Ivanov had 32 goals, 2 assists and a goal. And don't think I put very many attackers out there. Some nice ratings. The only person who really didn't get any starts was Alexovsky. He's 20 years old. He's still 3.5 star potential. As a defensive center back, he's just not improving. He didn't get any game time. At some point, we have to start making a decision on some of these players. I want to get to the Euro Cup 2, see who won, get the recap on that, and then we'll talk about next season. So we'll be back with that in just a bit here. Well, the Euro Cup 2 review is in. We got an additional $425,000 in TV revenue, an additional $445,000 from the coefficient ranking. Leicester won, biggest overachievers. Apollon Limassol. They got to the second knockout round before losing to Leicester. I remember that because they were in the same round we were. If we go here, and then we go tree, and then we go back to first knockout round stage, we lost here. Limassol beat Midtjylland, and then they lost to Leicester. So it's well deserved. They're a Cypriot team, I believe. Yeah, they're a Cypriot team. They're a good Cypriot team. They're kind of the Cypriot version of Vardar, except a little richer. And I don't think they're limited into who they can sign. But yeah, it's new national attendance record 8,000. I'm still not happy with that. We should be in quintuple digits by now. We should be averaging over 10,000, no problem. Boz set the new average rating record. Grosnowski set the new shutout record. Boz, North Macedonian First League Player of the Year. Spahiu, 17 goals. Okay, that makes sense. Ilyaski, North Macedonian First Young Player of the Season. First League Young Player of the Season. Kostov, Head Coach Season Winner. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players on the national team of the season. Team year bonuses were activated. Murati, Noveski, and Abaz each got bonuses. The club as a whole got a bunch of bonuses. It was a good season. The issue now is we're going to run into the same thing next season that we ran into this season. As soon as this is done saving here, I will show you. It is now the 27th of May. Our season last year started with Bate in July. And that was the Champions Cup path, first qualifying round, first leg, which is exactly what we I gotta go here, which is exactly what we qualified for this year. So the other thing I'm waiting for is to see whether or not the league moved up. I don't think we did. The international games, there weren't quite a lot of them this season. So Madrid beat Villarreal in the Euro Cup. And we got it's the 28th of May. We got about 4 weeks to get our house in order before the season starts. I don't want to get caught last year where we lost Vodic. I think I just need to sit down and make a decision about who we're keeping and who we're not keeping and approach it that way. The other thing I need to do is go through and look at the players we've been scouting. I decided to scout all the youngsters in North Macedonia, those who were 18 and under. And I did it after the youth intake had come in. So if, knock on wood, if I can find a youth player and poach him, I will do that. At the same time, if there's a older player out there who can come in and definitely contribute to the squad and make us better overall, I will do that as well. I've got enough money now in the budget. I feel comfortable doing that. 2, 3, 4 years ago, not even close. I mean, I fretted over the Jankelov signing. And even though he's been a good player for us, I don't think he's been 500,000 euros good. There's players out there now I would risk €1 million on a transfer. As soon as this goes by, we'll take a look at them here in a second. These are the youth players I've been looking at. There's a ton of them. There's a bunch that are still yet to be scouted. What I need to do is all the ones that are E's and F's is go through and we scroll up. Maybe some of the D's. Go here and we go. Possible I am looking in the wrong place. You could cancel multiple assignments. I guess not. Okay. If we sort by the players that I've got listed, Arben Marami is one by Kukuricha. Muharemi, rather, is a very good midfielder. 20 years old, 4-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. Defensive mid who can also play midfield. I've gone after him before, so I'm gonna make an inquiry and see what happens. Philip Midvev, 5'7" right back, decent acceleration in that. Can't cross worth a lick. Isn't the best at teamwork either. Boris Basevsky. He's got potential. You know what? We'll make an inquiry onto him too. Wants to move to a bigger club. Hadziecki. When is his contract up? You know what? Let's make an inquiry on him too. Vladic is wanted by friends. It's interesting. They're also in the Portuguese league. Okay. So there's some potential out there too. So like as an example, Dimitar Eftimov, 15 years old. He's 5-star potential ability though. 5'10", plays striker. Physically, he needs help. Mentally, he's okay. I love the teamwork. That's great. Finishing is nice. Everything else is kind of on the low side. But then again, 15 years old. So, you know, what we'll do is sort by potential and then go through probably all the 4-star guys. At least we will keep scouting. Vladic had 10 goals last season. This guy had 9 and 3. So it's just a way to kind of get a jump on things. I can't scout like I normally do, so I have to kind of compress it just to the stadium, well, almost the stadium, just to the country. And so far, that's what I'm having to do. So a solid season for us. I'm quite happy with it. I think we're well on our way. I'd like us to go a little bit further in the European matches, if only to get a little bit more money, but this is really going to work out in our favor. So the other thing I realized just a few minutes ago was that they expanded our coaching staff as well and our scouting staff. So that's something I also need to work on. And any additional coaches? Yeah, the under 18s, I got additional coaches there as well. But I will have the performance analyst hired by the general manager. So get some improved coaches in as well. Take a look at some of these guys. Manisiev, he's great. He's a great coach. He's a great head coach for this level. What I need to do is get him like on a 2-year contract. I actually would bring him up and make him a regular coach, but I think he's much better suited to being down here. Now, someone like Markovsky, I would probably be best moving him on, but he's a decent attacking coach. He works well with youngsters, so, you know, we will offer him a new contract. And then Apostolo, he is my youth keeper coach. And he's not bad for this level of football, so we will also hire him. Can't tell if the 2-year deals are a country-imposed thing. So Dragon is my Polish fitness coach. I will probably let him go. And then Todorov, who is solid but unspectacular. He's good for this level of football. I already offered him a contract. So, as I was saying before I got distracted, yet again by something shiny, it was a really good season for us. I'm really happy with it. Bayern beat Arsenal in the Champions League. Okay, go Bayern. And next season, I'd like to go farther in the Champions League. I think we've got a lock on First League for now, unless we absolutely fall on our face, which is entirely possible. Anything can happen. So a good season for us, though. Next season is year 7. A lot of the youth players are going to start coming to the fore. I actually need to sit down and grade the youth intake we got this year, and we're well on our way. Mbappe's at Man City, okay, and we're well on our way. I think what I talked about last episode holds true. Maybe shooting for the Champions League is way up here, and maybe Euro Cup 2 is down here. And maybe that's the goal. European trophies, European hardware. It doesn't matter what competition as long as it's a European trophy. I think we're much closer to winning Euro Cup 2 than we are Champions League. That's for darn sure. You know, if I played this for 30 years, I could get a squad, assemble a squad eventually to win the Champions League, I think. But I think European trophies of some sort. You know, we need some good runs. We need some more youth intakes. We need to bring in some solid players. And I think we can do that. So next season, we'll see how that part of the journey goes. If you did like what you've seen and heard this episode, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, questions, criticism, comments. Leave those down below. I will answer them as fast as I can. My name is FM22, and thank you for watching.